another crypto exchange gets served by the SEC. Although history may not seem to repeat itself, it does often rhyme. Welcome back, everyone. Shout out to Lucky Redfish for tagging me in this article. And you know what? This got me thinking. I know it doesn't happen often, right? But all of this noise seems very familiar. Let's dive into this exchange that, has been shut down after an SEC lawsuit. Let's dive into this, and then let's zoom out and take a look at the whole picture here. Crypto exchange Bixie shut down after SEC lawsuit. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charged the company and its founder, Artak Hamazapian, I just destroyed your last name, I apologize, with operating an unregistered exchange and brokerage. The SEC also accused Bixie Digital Limited of illegally raising $8 million in the offering of an unregistered security with its BXY token. Oh my gosh, I don't know who else has done that. Anyways, the agency additionally noted Hamazapian misappropriated at least $900,000 for personal use, including gambling. Windy Inc. took over the platform in 2019 after the founder misappropriated money, according to the SEC, and managers Nicholas Murphy, Randolph Bay Abbott maintained Bixie for trading crypto assets that were offered and sold as securities, the SEC said. So the agency is also accusing them of violating securities law by operating an unregistered exchange, broker, and clearing agency, though the platform was described as defunct in another SEC case last year. It's very interesting, right? Almost seems like they kind of brought this back to life in order to put it in the news to keep everybody, keep everybody on their toes. But anyways, that's just my opinion. The blurring of functions and the lack of registrations meant that regulations designed to protect investors were not followed or even recognized by Bixie. We forthrightly committed to cooperation with the Securities and Exchange Commission for over 2 years, continually providing information, data, and interviews to assist regulators in whatever manner we could, Bixie said. The SEC statement doesn't mention that Bixie closed under an agreement in federal court with Windy and the people associated with the company. The agreement included returning all assets to customers and destroying any BXY in Windy's possession. The SEC is still pursuing Bixie Digital and Hamazapian with litigation. So it seems this exchange believes that they had been communicating with the SEC in good faith, and they believe that they were providing, or they claim that they were providing, all the data that they were supposed to. And as you saw in the end, they even agreed to destroy the BXY tokens that were in possession of that company, and the SEC still is pursuing them, and they still had to shut down. Okay, so you say to yourself, oh my gosh, all these exchanges are getting attacked. I mean, look, Coinbase was served a Wells notice. Binance, which we just reported on a couple of days ago, has some really bad allegations from the SEC, and Binance is a massive exchange. So, you're probably sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, this is over, right? Like this just destroys the whole ecosystem. So as I always mention, I came into the space in 2017, and in the beginning, I did not know any Bitcoiners. I really, unfortunately, just knew, a whole bunch of people like me that were inexperienced and, for the most part, learning how to shitcoin. So when I would see news like this, I would just freak out. I would think, oh my gosh, it really is over. The SEC is clamping down, and they're going to shut all of this down. So what I did was I decided to go take a look back in time. Now, let's go back to 2019. Here we go. Let's paint a picture here so that we understand what is happening in this space. In 2019, we had 20 crypto exchanges that closed. And some of these names you're going to recognize, like maybe Liqui, okay, maybe Quadriga CX. For the people that don't know, I mean, the CEO of Quadriga just vanished, and then supposedly was spotted again in India, possibly. I actually do not remember all the details to that story, but honestly, there are so many videos made about it. It was Canada's largest exchange and just went bust. Well, went bust. Somewhat bust. Anyways, very mysterious story, but Quadriga CX, that was 2019. Cryptopia, right? For anybody who is trading the worst garbage shit coins, most likely you were on Cryptopia. DX Exchange and IDEX. Those are some of the memorable ones that you would remember. That was 2019. Okay, so 2019, we had 20 exchanges that closed. Let's fast forward to 2020. We have 75 crypto exchanges that closed down. According to the Crypto Wizard Exchange Graveyard, 5 of the exchanges were labeled as scams, and 4, including Altsbit and Nere, were flagged as being hacked. In total, 31 were shut down voluntarily, while 34 were labeled as MIA for disappearing with no explanation. Dutch exchange Nlext and Chilean Chilbit were the only 2 flagged as being shut down by the respective governments in 2020. This link will be in the show notes. This is cryptowizard.com, the exchange graveyard. And this lists all the exchanges that have died and what the cause of death was. All right, so great site for everyone. But we're not done yet because we still have to go and see how many exchanges died in 2021 as well. And in 2021, we have 79 crypto exchanges that died. All those links will be in the show notes, so you can go dig through them. That exchange graveyard is really interesting. There's also a link to 99bitcoins.com, which is a great website, and it lists the dead coins. Not dead exchanges, but dead coins. So very, very interesting stuff. Now, somebody eventually will say, well, Phil, in 2019, they shut down for different reasons. They shut down because they were scams. You know, they shut down because, because people rug pulled. So even though the reasons are not the same, we can clearly see that in every cycle, there's a certain number of exchanges that blow up for whatever reasons. And those exchanges in no way are quote unquote part of actual Bitcoin. Okay, those are external entities that have nothing to do with Bitcoin. And I mean, if you're really honest with yourself, you can see, well, why would I end up on those exchanges? Well, okay, you would end up on those exchanges if you're shitcoining, right? If you're going and you're buying and selling alts, hoping to, make more fiat or make more Bitcoin, or you don't realize that holding your Bitcoin on one of those exchanges is a very bad idea. Okay, like think of the number of exchanges that I just showed that blew up. You don't want to risk it. You want to take self-custody of your Bitcoin. So, moral of the story is, even though we saw Bixie go dead, and even though we see the SEC doing what it's doing, I know that there's some people that say that the SEC is overreaching, they're inexperienced, they don't know what they're doing. That all may be true. But you know what? Unfortunately for us, they are the ones, the SEC is the ones that are in power. So there's not very much that we can do. Of course, like Coinbase can try to fight it, right? They're going to fight it with lawyers. Not everybody has that amount of money to hire all of these very, very expensive, high quality lawyers. That's just the truth. I think we're going to see the lower quality exchanges disappear. I think we're going to see them ending up, unfortunately, being replaced by legacy finance, such as Fidelity, such as the NASDAQ, as I showed in a previous video. Both of them mentioned last week that they are going to be offering custodial services for quote unquote cryptos. Just remember, you got to zoom out when you look at this stuff. Okay, it's a very young space. There are a lot of bad actors, and the best thing you can do is take self-custody of your Bitcoin. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time.